Stockwell-Eldridge Show, giving you the real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Don Eldridge.
Happy New Year, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and everybody else on YouTube with all of our thousands of loyal fans. We're grateful for you. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Stockwell-Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
I'm Don Eldridge with Remax Results. Welcome back, Jason.
Yes.
We missed you.
We had a wonderful vacation.
I want to hear about it.
Spirit Mountain, Duluth.
Oh, you
loved
did?
it. Cabin with the kids. Cabin with no running water, no shower, outdoor facilities.
In Spirit, not at Spirit Mountain.
No,
Clearly
no.
you're outside.
We were outside.
Spirit
We were about
Mountain.
45 minutes away. And an outhouse with, that's
A seat.
a hole in the ground and a seat, that
A
type of
true
deal.
outhouse.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
great. Kids loved it, actually.
So it wasn't a covered outhouse. It was literally out in the open outhouse?
No, it was covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you with other people or was it just you and your family?
Me and the family and the kids. Yeah.
Cool.
All of them. They loved it. They had a great time. We chopped down a dead tree. We went squirrel hunting. We shot the beaver gun. We didn't get anything.
And no broken bones from skiing and snowboarding, and no.
Kids had a blast.
Scratches.
Went to Duluth, tried to see a big ship. We missed the timing on it because there's so many. If you note to you guys, if you ever go to Duluth to try to see one of those big ships, there's so many spots where they come in that you got to make sure you're at the right harbor where they come in, because if you're looking online, you're like, oh yeah, 145, we're there, and then nothing's there.
Isn't
And
that
it's
kind of like that phrase? Your ship's already sailed. Like, what is this trying to tell me? Like, I came to see the ships and they're gone.
We saw it on the horizon, way out there, but it didn't quite have the effect of being right there.
UMD Duluth is my alma mater. So
Oh, really?
I
Cool.
have a fondness for Duluth, and I was there, for several years.
It's great, and I love. And it snowed, of course, every day a little bit. Just a dusting because of it must be the lake effect. Always.
Yeah.
The snow is always. And anyway, so it was a great trip. I'd highly recommend getting away. And it was, instead of going to a hot, warm, sun beach destination, we chose to go the other way, and it was
active
great
and
time,
everything
so.
like that. That's
you
great.
truly embraced the Minnesota winter. I'm very proud of you. I endured that as a child going to my parents' cabin. It was not winterable or whatever. And I had to go outside without any shelter, by the way,
gosh.
and just go in the woods. So I don't need that anymore. I'm
Well, we
I'm done
heard
with that.
coyotes and we heard animals, so you kind of want to have some shelter.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
And so we have a great show for you today, folks. Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo.
Yep.
Sparkles, how you doing?
Yeah, great. Great to be back. Happy New Year, everyone. And looking forward to a great new year.
Yeah, me too. 2017, I think, is going to be awesome. And we will get into our special guest. Rob Routh is here. Rob is with Ensuring Success, and we will welcome Rob.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. So Rob will be sharing with us in the future segments about his business, what they do, and then we will be bombarding him with questions after that. We're looking forward to that. So he's in the hot seat.
Well, and I noticed he's wearing a Team USA wrestling shirt, so I'm wondering if he was a sponsor or in it.
Not quite. So
Like if he's
very
gonna,
close. So very
Let's hear in a
close.
second, or put us like in a lock, in a headlock or something like that if we get
I
out of
had a
control.
shot.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought a ticket. That's as close as I got.
And your ship sailed. Like
That's right.
Towns in Duluth.
So we'll be back more with Rob. But right now, market update, real overview of the market. January, in my opinion, based on what we're seeing so far in the early part of January, is the new February.
Yep.
February will be the March. It's going to be crazy in February. March is going to be bonkers.
And why do you say that, Jason? What?
We are taking out buyers every day looking at homes. We're still losing in multiple offers.
You think because of the season? Like, are you saying like this year, particularly because like the weather? Is that why you're seeing that, or just the whole market in general?
I think what's going on in the consumer confidence is so high right now as part of it. One big thing is consumer confidence is very high. The other thing is everybody is anticipating, and I don't want to say common knowledge, but it's almost universally accepted that interest rates will be going up through 2017. So my opinion is, if I were to give a prediction, is 2017 first half of the year, lights out, watch out, real estate is going to be selling. And if you're a homeowner who's been sitting there on the fence, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally say, you know what, I've been in this home for 30 years, let's make a move. Or, hey, I've been in this home for 8 years or 9 years through the downturn. My goal was to have this as a starter home and move after 4 years or 3 years. Now's the time to do that because the market will be there from the buyers, and there's sellers coming on the market. I think it's going to be a very robust spring, and probably one of the best since the pre-recession. I think it'll probably break the record of the pre-recession. I think.
And so
Oh, I
you're
would
still
like that.
seeing, like, as far as inventory as well, is it still pretty low inventory?
Still tight
That's why
inventory.
there's a lot of multiple offers.
Yeah, and we're doing pre-market on a bunch of listings right now that are coming on the market. So if you're looking for anything that's not on the MLS, but it will be coming up in the next 3 weeks, 2 weeks to a month. We have a number of properties in that area area right now.
Yeah.
And I'd say I always tell sellers this, and I said it on previous shows, the early seller gets the buyer, just like the early bird gets the worm. And the early buyer gets the better buy, actually, when you think about it, because they're not waiting until everybody else comes out in March. So it affects both of you. It benefits both of you if you pull the trigger earlier than you maybe anticipated on the listing side and selling your home, and also on buying your home, I would say. So the market's been phenomenal so far.
Well, and this morning I took a call from a seller who was wondering if she should rent or buy after she sells, and I still think that rent is so high, it is cheaper to buy than to rent in most cases. She wants to downsize too. So she wants to buy a condo, and condos are great. They're a great price right now. And
Yeah.
with the association dues, almost everything's covered. You don't. You might have electric.
Well, it's a lot more simple living too.
Yes.
And that's what I'd say. The reason I'm asking Jason, is rates are, since the election, we have seen an increase in rates. That's a no-brainer. Everybody's seen it. It's in the market. It's in the industry and so forth. And that's where we tell people too, is really, get pre-approved, or if you did think about it in the past, come back and talk to one of us at Wells Fargo, because it can make a difference in your interest rate and what's your affordability and what you can buy. Again, rates are still amazingly low.
They're still really good.
Like, people
Yeah.
freak out. Some of us can talk about when people were buying homes at 10%, 12% back in the late 80s and 90s. I said, when I first got into this business, I'll never forget the day the rate sheets came out, and it was at 6.875, and the phones were ringing off the hook, and people were freaking out because it was the first time rates had dropped below 7%. And I still remember, how busy we were in the mortgage business at 6.875. People just could not believe it. It was they hit the lottery,
Yeah.
So really think about that. Wherever rates are at, it's still a really great time. But, again, like you're talking about, chop, the multiple offers, you have got to be prepared to get out there. If you're going to call Jason or Dawn to look at houses, you've got to make sure you're rock solid on your pre-approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would recommend getting a pre-approval and go and check out Wells Fargo pre-approval. Their online it's very easy to go online and check it out, and also get hooked up with someone.
Yeah, in all of our
Right.
bank locations, we've got multiple loan officers working in every one of our Wells Fargo banks. And two, a lot of people, we still have a 3% down. I'm amazed at how many people still are unaware that you only need 3% down to purchase a home. And that's on a conventional loan. So you don't have to worry about that upfront. That 3% down can be a gift. There's down payment assistance money. We've talked before. If you're looking in Minneapolis or St. Paul, there's $7,500 in a down payment assistance program called Neighborhood Lift. So again, if you're a seller and you're in Minneapolis or St. Paul, while that money's available, get your house on the market.
Yeah, before it's
because
used
the
up.
likelihood that somebody would want to buy your home in that area is huge, because they can leverage that Neighborhood Lift program.
And the other thing about condos and townhomes, we have one in Invergrove Heights, not FHA approved. It's a townhome. I think it's technically a condo, but it looks like a townhome. Not approved FHA. So that program where you get the 3% down.
You need to have those buyers call me.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a great alternative. And Wells, there are other lenders that have a 3% down program, but they're limited as far as what they can make for income. And one of them has to be a first-time home buyer. This is a program that's exclusive to Wells Fargo.
Open to everybody.
Right. You can make $500,000 a year, and sometimes that works. If you're buying, maybe a $500,000 condo and your other home hasn't sold yet, you're not going to have the funds. You don't want to deplete your 401k or investment accounts.
Yep.
Fine, just put down the 3%, and then we also have a great recast feature that once you do sell that home and you get that big profit, you can take that and put it down on the new home, and we'll reamortize it for you. So.
It'll be re-amortized. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah,
nice.
and recast it. So don't even have to worry about selling your other home. It doesn't matter. But it's our 3% down conventional product that's only available at Wells Fargo. So keep that in mind, or those condos, or you're looking at it and they can't go FHA.
Yeah, I've had a couple buyers that have been FHA approved, and I said they should go try to get conventional. And it's unfortunate. The association shouldn't be not approved. They should be
Right. Well, it's an
FHA
expense
approved,
to the association. A lot of times, those smaller associations,
That's what
they
it
don't
is.
want to
It's a
go through
smaller
the
one.
costs and the expense.
They didn't apply and they didn't renew. They at one time they were, and then they just never
Yep.
re-annied up or whatever. So anyway,
I gotta get in touch with them. We'll advertise a 3% down program for those people living down
Yes.
there looking to purchase.
I will let the buyer's agents know on that one because they're out there. Those associations where you got to check that out before you go into them. So market overall is really good. So give us a call if you have any questions in regards to your house, the value of your home, what you should or shouldn't do prior to going on. And I would say take the bull by the horns, jump on. If you're going to sell, do it sooner than later. Don't procrastinate. Get this stuff lined up right away, and you'll be rewarded for that. Our number is 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773. And you can also find us on Facebook under the Stockwell Eldridge Show and on YouTube. You can see what we all look like and see what Sparkles looks like, Rob, and see what this wrestling thing is all about, this big wrestler on the show.
Are you a homeowner, Rob?
I am 900 square feet of love. A little small lake in southern Minnesota.
Oh, what lake do you live on?
Lake Tatanka.
Okay, nice.
Tatanka.
That's right.
Tatanka,
Buffalo.
like
That's right. Give it up right there.
Well, as we all know, it's hard to predict the future, and I don't want to give Trump complete credit for the housing. What I predict will be a boom going forward with consumer confidence. Maybe we give Obama credit for that because he's still in office. I don't know. But here's what Elliot Eisenberg says. He is the graphs and laughs economist that we love, and he has heroic hindsight. Heroic hindsight. For those of you with perfect hindsight, 2016 was a financial feast. You invested in natural gas, which jumped 57.6%. You invested in diesel fuel, which bounced 53.8%. And you invested in crude oil, which rose 45%. You also brilliantly invested in the Brazilian stock market, which shot up 45%, and also went long on orange juice, which was up 34%. Smartly, you also sold Coca short as it fell 38%, which I think is for coffee, right?
That's cocoa.
Cocoa, I'm sorry.
I was like, what's guaco? Like curacao?
Is
Cocoa, I'm sorry.
Coca, that's
Market, I
what the
don't
Stockwell
think.
family drinks. They drink hot quokka.
And rough rice, which also dropped 18%. So cool stuff about commodities and things like that you can invest in. I think 2017 is going to be brilliant for investing in real estate, buying real estate, and also in many of these markets. Stay tuned. More when we come back. Thanks, folks. Cocoa.
Coming back from some mill in Wisconsin.